Welcome into the Ravens Rundown, brought to you by Prize Picks. My name is Joey Peterson, and before we get into the content, I got to remind you, the schedule drops today. We will know who the Baltimore Ravens play weeks 1 through 18 in the order, what time, where they're going to be, and we're going to react to it the second we get it. So make sure you subscribe and turn on those notifications so that way whenever we drop the video, you guys get notified and you can be in there as quickly as possible. And if you join the Noti gang today, go ahead and let me know down below in the comment section. All right, I think we can all agree that losing Keaton Mitchell in free agency hurt a decent bit. Like, you lost a lot of free agents, guys, like Isaiah Likely, Pat Ricard, Draymond Jones, people who have been here for a very long time, very short time, but were still very impactful in their tenure in Baltimore. And I would put Keaton Mitchell right up there at the top of the list of the guys who was a little bit heartbreaking to see them leave. He's had kind of a head-scratching time with the Baltimore Ravens. 2023, right? Great rookie season, 8.4 yards a carry. Then, unfortunately, tears his ACL week 15 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Out the rest of that season. Then in 2024, kind of plays sparingly after coming back from that injury. And then in 2025, he comes back. He's fully healthy, but he's weirdly underutilized. So, it's easy to look at that and say, man, there was never anything really consistent with Keaton Mitchell. If there was consistency, is that, in my opinion, he was being overlooked by this Ravens coaching staff. Well, a coaching staff that did not overlook him was Los Angeles's, because in free agency, he signed a 2-year, $9.25 million contract with the Chargers. But it's not that easy. It's not like he was just an unrestricted free agent and automatically anybody could have signed him. The Baltimore Ravens had right of first refusal in a sense. The original round tender cost for Baltimore to keep Keaton in the Charm City was $3.5 million, and they passed on it. Well, Keaton Mitchell spoke to the media for the very first time since signing with the Los Angeles Chargers, and what he said, I hope it frustrates you as much as it frustrated me. He was asked about Baltimore not keeping him. He said, I was shocked, actually. I called my agent, was like, hey, what's the word? And he said, there's nothing yet. I'm thinking the Ravens are going to tender me, so I need to be in Baltimore to extend my lease. For some reason, I didn't extend my lease and just thought I would stay in Baltimore, work out, be patient. Then it's like an hour before the deadline, and I start to realize I might be a free agent. Then right at the deadline, my agent called and said, hey, they didn't tender you. You're going to be a free agent. So I was like, dang. And this is so incredibly frustrating to me. Frankly, how they've handled Keaton Mitchell through the first 3 years of his career has been incredibly frustrating to me. Last season was infuriating watching him sit on the bench as a healthy scratch, or if he played, really not be utilized to the tune that I thought he should have been. And the fact that he didn't know if he was going to stay or go, and they just let him walk without putting up any sort of a fight, trying to keep him in the building, just makes me so upset. 341 yards in 13 games played last season, and again, it was the healthy scratches. Look at how he started off this season. First 6 games, right? This was leading into the bye week. First 4 straight, inactive with a healthy scratch. Then he's active for Houston and LA, and he plays in 7 snaps on offense, 22 snaps on special teams. And it didn't really get better throughout the season. Even though every single time he went in the game, you thought, wow, Keaton Mitchell can still scoot. Keaton Mitchell's absolute electricity with the football in his hands. This was after the Thursday night Thanksgiving game against the Bengals. Rashid Ali, 28 snaps to Keaton Mitchell's 8. Ali even out-snapped Derrick Henry, which was ridiculous. But there is no world that we live in that Ali should get more than 4 times the love that Keaton Mitchell does. And now you look at this running back room, and I'm excited about Adam Randall. Don't get me wrong at all. And I like Justice Hill. But I always looked at Keaton Mitchell as a guy that I believed once Derrick Henry moved on from Baltimore, once he kind of moved past the National Football League, whatever that is, I thought Keaton Mitchell had the ability to be his replacement. I thought he had the ability to be an every down back. Do you miss Keaton Mitchell? If you do, go ahead and type me down below in the comment section. We got more content to get into, but I do have to shout out our sponsor at Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app. You should go ahead and check them out because playoff basketball is in full swing. Epic matchups every night, and there truly is no better time to cash in with our friends at Prize Picks. And I'll tell you this, the app is really easy to use. All you got to do is pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. I don't know if you guys are big golf fans. We got the second major starting today. Masters is back in April. PGA Championship kicks off today, this morning. I've got a little 3-pick power play for you. I took the less on 70.5 strokes for Matthew McCarty, the more on 12 pars for Ricky Fowler, and the less on 68.5 strokes for Rory McIlroy. So, download the Prize Picks app today, new users, and use code HMA. When you play your first $5 lineup to receive $50 in lineups, that's code HMA. When you play your first $5 lineup to get an extra $50 in lineups. Prize Picks, clickable link to download the app is in the comments and description of today's video. We appreciate Prize Picks for sponsoring the show. Yesterday, it became officially official that the Baltimore Ravens will be in Brazil Week 3 against the Dallas Cowboys. We hit this news whenever it happened about a month ago. At that point, it was just a leak. The NFL then posted this yesterday. And Gage, if we make that next one full screen, that'd be great. Thank you, buddy. The NFL posted this yesterday, meaning it is set in stone. You will be traveling to Brazil to take on America's team. If you're going to have an international game, I like the fact that it's one of the Ravens' road games. Like, I would hate to have your home game, like Dallas does, wasted on a game played like thousands and thousands of miles away from your home. Speaking of thousands and thousands of miles, even though Baltimore does have an international game, they're still not even in the top 20 in miles traveled this last year. They're coming at 21st at 17,422. Really not that bad. Obviously, the trip to Brazil and back definitely adds to it, but it could be much worse. I mean, look at San Francisco, 38,000 miles. Look at Los Angeles, 34,000 miles. San Fran is playing 2 international games, one of those being in Australia. So honestly, ladies and gentlemen, this is pretty great for Baltimore getting to travel, even though they have an international game, it not really affecting how much travel they have during the season. And honestly, just on a little bit of a side note, Gage, if we could put the international game graphic back up. Speaking of that, I think it's getting a little bit ridiculous, in my humble opinion. Like, having 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 international games in a season is perfectly fine for me. Do 1 a month. That's phenomenal. But having 9, and one of those being in Australia, like, I'm sorry. I don't care if Australians watch the sport of football. American football, that is. I don't care if Europeans watch the sport of American football. If I cared what the Europeans watched, I'd watch soccer. But I don't, okay? 9 games is far too much. Who cares? Keep these on American soil in the great United States of. Alrighty, be honest with me. I gave you my thoughts. What are your thoughts on international games? I think they're getting a little bit too much, but I'm curious to hear what you guys say. To round out this morning's show, I do want to touch a little bit on the thing that came out yesterday with Jaire Alexander. Put out an article in the Players Tribune, and he spoke on his time at Baltimore, a little bit more specifically that game against Buffalo. He said, there's no other way to say it. I went out there and I played the worst game I've ever played in my entire life. I embarrassed myself. And even though I knew I wasn't at my best, I never thought for a second that what actually happened in that game would have even been possible. It was like some nightmare that came to life. And if you look back at that game, man, I remember that was one of our key takeaways. I literally think, Gage, in our List 5 logo reveal, I think the number 5 thing was cut Jaire Alexander yesterday. He was horrible. But, it's a cool article to read. He talks about all that he was going through, and it's obvious, he was not in the right headspace. So I love the honesty, from these guys. And do I wish his time in Baltimore would have gone differently? Yeah, 100%. I thought, he was a great signing when it happened. Unfortunately, it didn't end up that way. But no hate for Jaire Alexander. Just thought the honesty was something interesting. We needed to talk about it just a little bit. All right, that is going to do it for today's show, but it's not going to do it for today. You will see me again in just a little bit. So make sure to follow me on socials. I'll be tweeting the leaks as they come throughout the day. Of course, I've got that full video coming later, so make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to turn on those notifications as well.